Hello and welcome to another exquisite episode of the Hellion Rebellion Rock and Roll Association, brought to you by Holly Geist. We're going big time tonight, doing a little mainstream, and we're going to talk about the greatest reggae artist that ever lived, Mr. Bob Marley. So, I guess we should start at the beginning. Um, Reggae music was created in the early 1960s. It was a derivative of rocksteady ska music. The difference is that they slowed that kind of music down. They had this crazy upswing in guitar progressions, and in keeping in line with what was going on in the 1960s, reggae music was mostly protest music against warmongers and the upper crust. Uh, Reggae music also spread the idea of a unified pan Africanism, pan Africa, all the nations, African nations that were spread across the world. And the other thing it was reggae music spread the word of or the gospel of the Rastafari religion. So it was yeah, you could say it's very serious music. I mean, there are some songs that are a little fun, but for the most part, reggae music was very socially orientated and very serious. Um, so you had all these great artists that showed up in the '60s: Bunny Wailer, Peter Tosh, Maytall, Toots and the Maytalls, um, and of course the legendary Bob Marley. If you're like me, my age, and definitely younger than me, your first exposure to Bob Marley was the posthumously released greatest hits record Legend, which has gone a billion times platinum since 1984, 85. It's a great record. I still listen to it probably more than any of his other records. Uh, but there's a lot more to Bob Marley than him being this ingenious songwriter. He I mean, never mind the fact that he's an ingenious songsmith. He was doing something a little bit different than his peers, and what that was bringing rock and roll into reggae music. Reggae music was already highly influenced by soul music and blues music of the United States. But Bob Marley had an affination for artists like Little Richard and Chuck Berry and Richie Valens. He loved that kind of music, and he loved the British invasion even more. And in fact, I think Bob Marley lived in London for quite some time in the 1970s. So he was highly influenced by pop music of the day, where all these other reggae artists were innovating rocksteady and ska music and creating reggae music. They were still holding on to a traditional uh, the roots of what Jamaican musicians do, and Bob was kind of looking towards the future and being influenced by by a lot more than just what was happening in Jamaica. And that's why I want to share a couple songs tonight that showcase his love of rock and roll music. So this is a tape I acquired in the '90s. It's a greatest hits sort of thing called Rebels Hop. It came out of Holland, I believe. Um, and for the most part, with the exception of a song called Natural Mystic, I mean, I wasn't familiar with a lot of Bob Marley. Again, it was always the Legend album for me. And this was, when I got this is what made me want to go and buy his records from the 1970s and early 80s. So, without further ado, and I could keep rambling on, let's check out Bob Marley, and I'm going to let you hear how rock and roll influenced him and how he put that style of music into his music. So here we go. classic 50s rock and roll in there? I hear it. Is that Earth Angel?
We're gonna leave now. Sorry for the victim now. Though my days are filled with sorrow, I see years of bright tomorrow. Chances are some might not hold out. Chances are, hang on right now. The mama days are filled with sorrow as the years of bright tomorrow. Chances are some might not hold out. Chances are, hang on right now. Chances are, oh chances, you're my chances. Chances are, hang on right now. Chances are, hang on right now. Filled with loneliness, I take some teardrops and we'll have to win. Hang on right now. Chances are, chances are.
So there you go. There's a little bit of Bob Marley showcasing his love and for the original rock music. Um, I hope you liked it. It showed. I think it demonstrates a little bit more to Bob Marley that people don't realize. And I just wanted to let you know. I mean, do you know why there's so many snakes in the world? Because when God was in heaven making snakes, he was doing this with clay, and he was like, "Damn, this is easy." No snake. See you later.